Hello guys, welcome to another JavaScript tutorial, and I promise you this will be a cool one. So in this video I'll show you how to implement dark mode to your website in the easiest way. Now we are also going to store the theme to the local storage, so when the user refreshes the page or opens it sometime later, they will still come back to the same theme that they had the last time. And to be honest, this will be so simple that will only need around 20 to 25 lines of JavaScript. Now, in addition to all this, I will also show you how to create a nice landing page, as you can see, and how to use Google Fonts or these awesome font awesome icons. Okay, so enough with the intro. Let's begin the project. So I have my folder open in the VS Code, and the folder has 4 files right now: an HTML, a CSS, a JavaScript file, and we have an SVG image that we're going to use for the landing page. So now let's create the boilerplate for the HTML, and I will give it a title of Artstock because that will be the name of our website. And now let's open it using the Open with Live server. So this is our website right now because we do not have any content. So the first thing I will do is link my CSS file here, and I will provide the CSS path, and then below we will also do it for the JavaScript file using script src and then app.js. Now since I want to use icons in my project, I will go to my browser and search for font awesome CDN. Then if you search for it, you will find a lot of websites that provide CDN for the font awesome icons. I personally will go for this one, CDN.js, and then here I will copy link tag. So I will close this window, give a comment of icons, and then here I will paste that link tag. So the setup is complete. Now let's start coding. So the first thing I will do is create a header, and then inside header we will have two components, a navbar and a hero section. Now for the navbar I will use the nav tag, and inside it I will create a div with a class of nav center, and this div will have two components inside it. One will be our logo that we will put inside the h2 tag, and since I want to color half of the logo in a different color, so I will use the span tag and put the second word of the logo inside it so we can style it separately. And the second element inside nav center will be a button, and it will have a class of toggle button. This will be the button that we will use to switch to light theme or dark theme, and it will be a font awesome icon, an icon of moon. And if I save, this is what we have. Eventually we are going to change the icon with JavaScript based on the theme. If we have dark theme, the icon will be a sun. If we have light theme, it will be a moon. But for now, let's keep it this way. And the setup for navbar is complete. Now let's do it for the hero section. So I will use a main tag, which is a semantic element in HTML, and give it a class of banner. And inside main, we will have two different components, one for the info and one for the hero image, right? So for the info one, I will use the article tag, another semantic element, and give it a class of hero info. Inside it we will have h1 for the banner and give it a text of creating art that makes you fall in love. Now again we want this part to have a different color than the rest of it, so I will put it inside a span just like we did it here. Then after h1 we will have a paragraph which will have 10 words, so I will again use emmet for creating 10 words. And below the paragraph I will have an anchor tag, and we are going to use this attribute, we are going to leave this attribute empty because we only have one page. If your project has multiple pages, you can link it to any other page, right? And for this we will give it a class of hero btn, and the text will be get in touch. So if I save, this is what we have right now. Now for the image, I will again use an article and give it a class of hero img, and then again we will use an image tag and give the path to the image, and in the alternative I will just call it an image. So this is what we have right now. Our image is massive, as you can see, but we will fix all this with the style sheet, and we would not want the image to be visible for the small screen, so we will use media query for that. So let's get into it. So let's move to the CSS file now, and the first thing I will do is create a few CSS variable for the colors. So for the font I will use a shade of black. For the background I will use white, and main green color will have a color code of 4D946A. I will save it. Then I would like to remove some default margins and paddings. So margin will be 0, padding again will be 0, and box sizing will be border box. Then I will select the body tag and give it a background color of what we have in our CSS variable. I will do same for the font. And then for the header, which has my nav and my hero section, here we go. We have a nav and a main inside our header. So I would like to divide it into 2 rows, and I will use CSS grid for that. The first one will have auto and second one will have one fraction. So the nav will have a height of auto, that means whatever space it needs, and then the main will have all the space left in the page. And I will also give it a minimum height of 100 VH, which is basically the 100% of the user screen. And then for the small screen, first let me just hide the image, because it will be easier to style our nav bar and our hero section if we don't have the image right now. So I will select the image and give it a property of display none. Okay, so this is what we have right now. So now let's start styling our nav bar. I will use the nav tag, give it a background of the green color, main green color. I will also give it a box shadow, and the color for that will be black. If I save, this is what we have. Then I will select the nav center div, give it a padding. I will also give it a max width of 1170 pixel only. And since we want the content to be in the center, I will use margin 0 and auto. If I save, this is what we have. Now to align these two, this logo and this icon right next to each other, I will use display flex. Then I will give them a property of justify content, space between, so they are moved away from each other. And since I want them to be vertically aligned in the center, I will use align items center. If I save, so this is what we have. Now let's start the logo. So I will again use nav center and I will target the H2 inside it, which is our logo. Give it a little spacing of 2 pixel. Font size of 2.25 rem. The color for it will be black and the text shadow will be of 2 pixel and it will have the color white. If I save, this is what we have. And since we wanted to style this stock part in a different color, I will use this span which I created. So nav center H2, then the span inside it. Give it a color of white, and since the color is white, we want the shadow to be black. So I will copy this line, paste it here, and just change the color of the shadow. So our logo is ready. Now let's style this toggle button. I will target the class on that button. If I show you the class, here it is, toggle button, and then give it a background of transparent. Border radius will be 50%. Cursor will be pointer, and font size will be of 2 rem. I will also remove the border here and give it a color of the color that we have in our font. So here it is. Now I would also like this to be rotated when we hover over it. So I will use the sudo class hover and use transform and rotate it by 360 degree. And if I show you, okay, we cannot see it right now because I haven't put a property. We want this to happen over time, so I will use transition and give it a time of let's see, I'll give it a time of 5 seconds. So now if I show you, yeah, so since we did not give it a time, it was not visible. If I comment it out and make it a 180 degree, you will see, since we had 360 degree, the final result was same, so it was not visible. So now let's change it back. Now we will start styling the hero section. Now for the hero section, I will select the main tag and give it a minimum height of 100 VH minus the height of the navbar, which is 79 pixel in my case. So it can take the space on the whole page. Then I will give it a max width of 1170 pixel again. And again we want them to be in the center. So I will use margin, 0 and auto. I also want all the content to be in the center. So I will use display grid, place items in the center. So here we go. Now I will select the hero info class, give it a padding 2 rem top bottom, 1 rem left right. Then I will select the h1 inside the hero info, which if I save and show you this part, and I will give it a font size of 3.5 rem, text transform will be capitalized, and the letter spacing will be 3 pixel. Then again we want this part to be styled differently. So I will again select hero info h1 and then I will target the span and give it the color of green. So this is what we have. Now let's style this paragraph a bit. So I will again select hero info, then paragraph and give it a margin. Top 1 rem, left right 0 rem and bottom 2 rem. Then the font size will be 1.1 rem. Okay, now let's start styling this little anchor tag. I will select the hero button class. Display will be inline block. Padding will be 1 rem top bottom and 2 rem left and right. Letter spacing will be 2 pixel. We want to remove the underline, so the text decoration will be none. If I save, this is what we have. Then the color will be white. Font weight will be bold. Text transform uppercase. Background will be the green one. If I save, so we have something like this. Then I will also give it an outline of 2 pixel solid, and the color of the outline will again be green. So currently the outline is just after the button. So I will use another property which is known as outline offset and move the outline away from the button by 5 pixel. So this is what we have. And then the last thing to do is to give it a transition of 3 seconds. Then when I hover into the button, the opacity will change to 0.9. So you see, this is what we have. So the last thing that we have to do is make this responsive, because we have this right now, but we want our image to be visible when we go full screen. So let me put a comment of responsive. Then we will use media query, media screen, I'm sorry. And I want the style to change after 992 pixel. So the first thing I will do is divide my mean tag into two columns, because for the small screen we only have one column, but for the bigger screen we will have two columns. One will be this info and the second one will be image. Then the gap between both of them will be of 5 rem, gap 5 rem, and we want them to be aligned in the center. Okay, one more thing I will do is change the size of this h1 that we have to 4 rem instead of 3.5. This h1, yeah. So if I go full screen right now, there isn't much difference because we haven't made our image visible right now. So I will select the hero image and give it a display of block. Since we hide the image in the beginning here, it was not visible, but when we reach 992 pixel, the image will show in our website. So if I go full screen, okay, this is what we have. So we need to fix the dimensions of the image. So let's do it. I will select the hero image tag and let me think, it should be around 25 rem. So I will give it a width of 25 rem, and the image, I will target the image tag and give it a width of 100%, so that it only takes up the space of its container and does not exceed by that. So now if I go full screen, our website is ready. Now we just need to add a functionality to change the theme, but our landing page is completely ready. And if I show you the responsiveness, right now we have this. If I go, see here, if I go 990, below 992 pixel, the image disappears. So as you see, completely responsive. So one more thing that I like to do is change this font. So I will go to the browser and search for Google Fonts here and go to this website, and there are multiple fonts that you can choose from, but I will go for the first one, Roboto. Here I will select the regular 400, and we get two options. Either we can import this link in our HTML file, or we can import the URL in our CSS file. So I will go for the second one, copy this and move at the top of my CSS file and paste it here. And then we also need to provide this font family property. So I will copy it and paste it in my, no, not header, in my body tag. So if I save now and move to my website, you see the font has changed. Now for the dark mode toggle, the first thing I will do is target two classes here. One will be light and the other one will be dark. Then I will copy these variables and paste it here. Now these will be used for the theme. These colors will be used for the light one, and here I will change the colors and these will be used for the dark one. So for the dark one, I would want the font to be white, the background to be black, and the shade of green will be a different one, and that would be this one. So what we are going to do is we are going to add these light and dark classes to our body tag, and we click on this toggle button. So let me show you an example. Right now we are in the light mode and our body does not have any class. So if I add the class light here, nothing will change because the colors for the light one are the same that are for the root one. But if I change the class to dark instead of light and save, you see everything changes. And this is happening just because of the CSS variable. For the light one we are using these colors and for the dark one we are using these colors. So let me just quickly remove this dark class from my body tag. And with JavaScript, what we're going to do is we are going to add this light or dark class to our body tag dynamically. So let's start. The first thing I will do is select my toggle button using document.query selector and target the toggle button class. Then I will select the body tag similar way. Document.query selector, and I will select the body tag. Then I will define a variable which will store the value of the theme, and the default value for the variable will be light because we initially want that theme to be light. Then I will add an event listener to my toggle button and listen for the event click, and we are going to add a callback function to it. So what do we want to happen when we click on it? So we will check if the value of theme is light, we will change it to dark, and else, that means if the theme is dark, we will change it to light. So we are changing the theme here with if and else, but we are not adding it to our body tag yet. So let's do that. So we'll select body and give it a class name of theme. So if theme is equal to dark, the body will have a class of dark, and if theme is equal to light, body will have a class of light. So if I save and show you a demo, you see how dark mode works completely fine. Now one more thing I would like to do is change this font of some icon right here, because initially for the light mode we have a moon, but for the dark mode I want a sun. So let's do that, and we will do it because we have our icon here inside the toggle button. So we will select the toggle button here again and use the property inner HTML, and then I will use the I tag. Okay, let me just copy it from here to avoid any spelling mistake. So we have our inner HTML in the toggle button as moon. So we want it to be dynamic, so I will remove the moon, and using the ESX template string, I will here use a ternary operator. So if the theme is equal to light, then the value here will be moon, and else it will be sun. So if I save, so here what we are doing inside this bracket is we are checking if the value of theme is light, so this whole bracket will return the statement moon, and else, that means if it is not light, we will return a sun. So if I show you, right, we have it working just fine. Now one thing to note is that if we change our theme and we refresh the page, the theme changes back to light again. So we want to fix that. So for that, I will use the local storage API and set the key value pair theme, and we will give the value to this key as our theme variable. So we want to store our theme in the local storage. So we are doing that by this. Now when we refresh the page, we also want the theme to be turned into the one that we have stored in our local storage. So for that, we will use our window and add an event listener to it. The name of the event is DOM content loaded. Make sure you spell it right, and let's give it a callback function. Now we want the theme to be the one that we get from our local storage using this theme key. And if for some reason we do not get a theme, maybe some error occurs, or like for the first time someone opens the page, there would not be any theme in the local storage. So for those times, we will give it a default value of light. So for some reason, if somebody doesn't get a value from the local storage, the theme will be light. So since we are doing it now, here we can remove this value, and we are storing the theme in this theme variable, and again we would want to do these two lines. So I will copy and paste them here. So my theme turns dark. So if I click on it, refresh, nothing changes. If I go dark, refresh, nothing changes. So our project works fine. Now one more thing to do is we are repeating. Okay, we also need to store the theme on initial reload. So we would also want to store the theme here. Now one more thing to do is, since we are repeating these three lines twice, I would want to create a function for them. So let's do it quickly. Update theme. And let's copy these three lines and paste them here. Now instead of repeating these three lines again, I will just call my function update theme, which will update the theme colors, change the icon, and store the theme in the local storage. So if I refresh once again, yeah, everything works fine. So that was how you can create a dark mode of your website, and this would be very useful since dark mode is getting very popular day by day. And thanks for watching. If I was able to help you with this video, please leave a like as it keeps me motivated, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. That's it for the video. I will see you next time.